guys, welcome back to T2T Wrestling. Is Money in the Bank results? Spoiler alert. Here is Tim. We're gonna talk about
Go
some
on.
things like wrestling, mostly just wrestling. We're not gonna talk about things. It's wrestling.
Mostly wrestling. We might also be discussing tax rate, but
Yeah,
mostly wrestling.
car insurance, things like that. How to
Yeah,
save, but
yeah.
mostly Money in the Bank. So, how do we start this thing again? No, I was kidding. So, okay, first match that we saw, it was actually the pre-show. I actually went back and watched. It was for the SmackDown tag team, the Mysterios versus the Usos.
I must admit, I said I wanted to go back and watch it, but I had too much stuff to do today, so I never got around to it.
It was actually a pretty
So
good match. You should have seen it.
I probably should have, and I
I
will do it at one
I
point.
I I think that this match should have replaced the other tag team match. If
In
you
all
ask,
probability, I
if you
mean,
ask me.
yeah, I mean, just because, well, we'll get to the other tag team match, but yeah, just because, I mean, the Usos and the Mysterios are both really good. Well, Dominic is learning at any rate, so yeah, I expected this
he's
to be a
growing. You
really,
could say that he's growing.
yeah. So I expected this to be a really good match, and I didn't have much hope for the other tag team match, but we'll get to that.
Yeah, but anyways, the
We'll get to
Usos
that.
won, so they got new SmackDown Tag Team Champions.
10 times, I think, tag team
I think
champions
so,
now.
yeah. Between
Impressive.
between like the New Day and the Usos, they just been tagging it up with all the tag teams.
I mean, between the Usos and the New Day, they've held basically the tag team titles 80% of the time for the
Yeah,
last 6 years.
really, they really
Um,
have. It's crazy.
I mean, that says something about the poverty of the WWE tag team scene. It also says something about just how good those two teams are, because they can carry them without too much hassle.
True. True. So let's get into it. So we have the first match, which was the Women in the Bank match. We have
The
Alexa.
Women in the Bank match, I like that.
We have Alexa Bliss, Liv Morgan, Zelina Vega, Tamina was a new one that we didn't know about. Natalia,
Tamina, yep.
Naomi, and Asuka.
And I guess the storyline going into this that everyone expected was that Liv was going to win, because apparently that was the storyline.
That was the dream
I
anyway. That was.
I have not been watching enough. I have not been watching enough Raw and SmackDown for me to know that that was apparently the storyline everyone expected. So I went into this with I don't know who's going to win. Actually, I think every one of them can do it, except for Tamina and Natalia.
Well, yeah, because they already got belts.
They're
Yeah.
busy doing other things, but still, I felt this was the first time I watched this match. I thought it was a little bit. I don't know. Didn't feel like it was bad. I just didn't feel like it was quite as good as I had expected it to be. Once I watched it back the second time, it got better. I think
I
there was
think.
a couple of.
I think.
Yeah, no?
I think that because we have to like watch this, and we're not like we're watching it like kind of like it's like, oh, we have to look at all the little details and shit like
Yeah,
that and everything like that, and instead of like just watching it like, oh, I'm just a fan of this shit and then I'm just gonna watch it. It's like, okay, no, we
yeah.
have to do a little extra work. So I know what
We
you
do
mean, because
have to watch.
I go when I go watch stuff again, I'm like, oh, okay, that wasn't that bad. But
Yeah.
watching the first time, I'm like, okay, I have to pay attention. Is there anything that's like spots out or like something that
Yeah,
needs to be
something we want to
mentioned
talk about.
and stuff
Yeah,
like that?
exactly.
So yeah, I understand how
Um,
that feels. Yeah.
but yeah, second time watching it when I didn't have to take notes, it felt much better. It had a really good pace all the way through. That's
Yeah.
what it did have, and that's important for a multi-person gimmick match, if nothing else. My notes are more dependent on the individual in question. First of all, I think Alexa's version of the Sister Abigail is really cool looking.
Oh my god, I
I think
love
she
it.
she really has. I mean, The Sister Abigail was always pretty decent, no doubt about it. I just love the way Alexa pulls it. It fits her, you know, black magic. I don't know, insane witch character, but it just looks really really cool. And
Yes, fits her great.
my my other note is again they I think they played Tamina pretty good as like the dominant mountain everyone had to climb. But my point of it, Tamina, I think we talked about it in private before this, is that didn't it feel like there was a really weird way about the way she sold the Hurricane Ranas? She got hit by a Hurricane Rana about 3 or 4 times, and I don't know, maybe it was just me, but it constantly felt like she was surprised by it. Like she constantly had to take a second, half a second or so to say, "Oh crap, I need to go down." I don't know, it just felt
Maybe.
really weird. Maybe it's because she's really big, and you know, smaller girls can't just, you know,
Just
flip
do
her
that.
over.
Like,
Yeah,
okay,
she
not that
has to
easy.
she has to do a lot of the movement herself. I mean, maybe it was. There was especially one time when Liv Morgan got a Hurricane Rana on it, and Liv had basically already hit the floor when Tamina started moving. I don't know. It just felt really weird. I don't think it was botched or anything. I just felt like she seemed surprised that was the
Maybe
move
she was
was going to
laggy.
make. Yeah, possibly. I mean, she was buffering. That's absolutely a possibility.
Possibility, you know. I mean, yeah, it could happen.
But I noticed that yeah, the commentators commented on the fact that Natalia never really tried to climb the ladder, but she just constantly played defense. But
Yeah.
Natalia's job in this match
She was
to
totally
make sure
playing
that-
defense.
Yeah, anyone who climbed the ladder before the winner was supposed to go, yeah, they had to be pulled down. That was basically her job in this.
What that
But
one?
it was pretty decent.
What that one when Alexa Bitch tried to get the briefcase with magic? I'm like,
Yeah.
no, God, what the fuck,
No.
dude? Like, no. And Oscar's like, oh, hell no, we ain't having that shit.
Asuka did really good, by the way.
Asuka
in
did
this
great.
match. Okay, everyone also knew Asuka probably wasn't going to win it, but she did really good.
Yeah, she usually do though.
I like how they got rid of Alexa, just because it's like that's the kind of stuff they do to get rid of the Big Show or Braun Strowman when he was there, or you know.
Yeah, but it's
Bobby
like, it's so
Lashley or
funny, right? Because I mean, it's
something.
like, it's Alexa.
Yeah.
It's tiny little Alexa, right? Like
Tallest girl on the
like 5
roster.
feet Alexa. It's like, and they just buried her with like ladders. Like, you get a ladder, everyone just get a ladder. I was like, oh my gosh. Like,
They did the thing, guys. If you haven't seen it, where she's on the ground because she's been hit, and then they just pull ladders out from everywhere. I think she ended up with like 15 ladders on top of her.
yep.
So, and yeah, again, you understand it when it's Big Show or Brock or Braun back when he was there. Hopefully, will be again someday. Yeah, exactly. Like Tori said, 5 foot nothing, tiny little Alexa. It's so funny.
It's
But
crazy.
it was a good way. It was a good way to get her because it sells her, you know, as
It tells her
the-
character,
sells a
definitely.
character and that kind of threat. Yeah, it was really.
She
good.
didn't she like hypnotize, Selena?
She hypnotized Tamina at one point. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think they seem to have settled on that as her consistent, like, magic power. It seems like, apart from maybe a little bit of, I don't know, telekinesis from time to time, they seem to have settled on her just being able to, you know, basically stun, hypnotize people. And I have less of a problem with that than her actually having, you know, magical abilities to, like, warp reality. That
Yes.
I don't really have a problem with.
Yeah, I don't
if
either.
If it must be. The ending I felt was weird. I'm super happy with it, but I feel like the ending was weird just because.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah, you tell.
so at the end, right, you have Alexa Bliss is in the ladders, right? So basically, you have the rest of the 6 women on 3 different ladders fighting. And then Nikki Cross goes across everybody and then gets the freaking belt.
Yeah.
I mean,
the problem
I'm not like upset about that because I was like, I think Nikki Cross should have gotten it.
Yeah, go ahead. Go talk. No.
Go.
Okay. Okay. God damn it. I said on Wednesday that I wanted Nikki to win, so I'm super happy about that. That was my, favorite all evening. Of everyone, that was the one I really wanted to win all evening. Well, except one, which we'll get back to. She was too slow. She was just too slow. The other girls had it's simply not feasible that they wouldn't have noticed her fumbling with the briefcase for 20 seconds. I think that's my problem with it.
I mean, I guess.
It's just one of those things where it's like, why are they still fighting? She's right there.
Well, I mean,
from you.
I mean, have you actually been in a fight?
I have, but it's been a couple of years.
Do you really notice anything around you when you're in a fight?
I admit that you tend to get tunnel vision. This is very true. Anyway, it also doesn't really matter. It was a small thing where I was like, this would probably have been better if Nikki could have done it a little bit quicker. But I'm just so happy that she actually won. I love her character.
This is Tambina Mark. Huh?
Yep.
Sorry? Yeah. I'm sorry, what were you saying?
Be quiet. Silence.
Mark moment. Anyways.
Silence. I kill you.
So, Nikki Cross won.
Nikki Cross won, and I'm Nikki Ash won,
Nikki Ash won. Yeah, almost superhero won.
Yep.
And she is Miss Money in the Bank. And we'll discuss more about that later on. But anyway.
Yeah. But again, it was a good match.
Yeah, it was a decent match.
Now, I feel
it had some good moments.
It could have been a better match, but like, if nothing else, like almost all Money in the Bank matches, it was 100% for sure entertaining.
Definitely. But we're gonna move on.
Yeah.
Got the Raw Tag Team match.
Yep.
Got the Viking Ratings versus AJ Styles and Omos. Yeah.
That was when I started having second thoughts about this evening. I never thought this was going to be a good match, but I had hoped it was at least going to be an entertaining match, and I don't think it was.
It was just... It seemed like one of those matches of just practice.
Yeah, honestly, this seemed like the P-break match.
Yeah.
I never thought I would say that about a match involving
AJ Styles, right?
But this really felt like the P-break match after the first Money in the Bank. It was fairly slow paced. Again, the problem with Omos is that he really can't wrestle, so they're just having him dominate everyone around him, which makes for a very, very boring match.
Yep, I agree.
There is a pretty cool moment where he literally throws AJ out of the ring into a Hurricane Rana. That was a pretty cool spot.
Yeah, that was cool. I enjoyed that. That was pretty cool. But
again, it's just...
I mean, it's really...
so boring.
It really was.
It's a boring tag team. And the Viking Raiders are not bad wrestlers, but they are power wrestlers. And
they're getting outpowered by Omos, and it's like...
They're getting outpowered by Omos, so they couldn't... It was just... It felt weird. It felt like they didn't know what to do with this match, but they had to have it. It was very pedestrian. The audience also seemed to be... The audience didn't seem to be into it at all.
Really? They really didn't. It was kind of like, okay, when is this going to be over? I think it lasted longer than it need be. I was like, okay, you're going to keep doing this shit.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I usually complain if a match is too short, I know that. But if you need to have a 30-minute match, you need to at least have a match. And
yes.
This was basically, the Viking Raiders beat on AJ, then Omos come in and destroys them. Then the Viking Raiders beat some more on AJ, then Omos come in and destroys them. Then the Viking Raiders beat some more on AJ, and then Omos comes in and gets a pinfall.
Pretty much, yeah. And then they keep the titles. Hooray!
Yep. Hey! Again, my problem is not them having the titles. My problem there is like, just
I mean,
just
they if they
just get AJ back to, singles matches and have Omos be his enforcer or
something or
protector or whatever. Just don't involve, until that man is better. Don't involve him directly in wrestling matches. It's
really
that
don't.
simple.
Like, I mean, just because I was like, come on, Vince, it's because he's big.
Yeah. I mean, you're like I said on last Wednesday. You already had a big guy. Just why bloody hell didn't you pair him with Braun to begin with? If that's what you wanted to do, we already had Team Little Big back in the day, which was absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
I could see AJ and Braun. I could see AJ and Braun having a dynamic like Kane and Daniel Bryan 10 years ago.
Yeah, this is true.
I could really see the potential in this match. I just can't see the potential in Omos because he can't wrestle. It's really that simple. I'm sure he can
And
learn. I'm sure he's trying to learn, but right now he just can't.
I mean, I feel like they should have gave it to the Viking Raiders, but that's just my opinion.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Also because, again, if there's one thing WWE needs to do, there's a lot of things WWE needs to do, but there's one thing WWE needs to do, they need to start building up a proper tag team division.
Really? They really
basically haven't, I mean, they really haven't had one for, 15 years now? And it's either just drop the damn tag team titles, or build up a proper tag team division. That's what you guys need to do. But there we are. Again, was it a bad match? I don't think you can.
It wasn't a bad.
It wasn't a bad match, but it was a bad experience. I expected more.
Yeah, definitely. It wasn't a bad match. It was just,
I mean, my general opinion of Money in the Bank was that, we'll get back to it later, but my general opinion of this year's Money in the Bank was there was it was a show of very, great heights and very deep lows. Honestly, but we can get back to that when we discuss the show itself later.
Alright. Well, let's go to the next match, which was the WWE Championship match. First was Kofi Kingston versus Bobby Lashley. Massacre.
This match made me angry.
Massacre.
Yeah, I mean, there were other events of this show I felt WWE did something horrifically stupid with. We will get to that. This match actually it wasn't a bloody match.
It was a massacre.
Massacre, utter crushing burial of one of their most popular wrestlers made me actually angry. It was everything I had predicted they could do wrong last week, and they went and did it.
Those bastards.
It was like, if you could possibly do more wrong in this match, I don't even want to know how.
I mean,
it was 7 minutes of Lashley beating on Kofi until he finally decided to. Then he got him in a tap out. It wasn't even just pinning him. He got him on an actual tap out. It was like, are you trying to just say we don't want Kofi anywhere near a title ever again? Because after this, I don't see how we can ever challenge for it ever again.
Yeah, it's true. It was sad.
It was boring. I mean, it was boring because it was 8 minutes or 7.5 minutes of Lashley literally killing Kofi Kingston. I think Kofi got one offensive move in the entire match. Just one. I felt it was boring. It was pointless. It wasn't even a P-break match. It was even worse than that. And this is for one of the two main championships of the company. This is the WWE.
I mean, this is like fucking Brock Lesnar versus Kofi all over again.
Yeah, I mean, this is the championship that Hogan held, that Bruno Sammartino held, that Michaels held. Triple A, all the big ones have held this, and this is what they do with the match. It was pathetic.
I mean, I agree with you. It was sad and it was pathetic. but I mean, obviously, if you saw Raw, then
No,
you
you,
probably.
I
I mean,
know
we'll talk
what's
about
going to
that later.
happen,
But yeah, but
yeah,
like
but
the but
honestly, that just made me more angry
yeah,
for other reasons. But we'll get, like you said, we'll get back to that. We'll deal with Raw. We'll deal with the Raw fallout at the end of the video, guys. I know we usually don't do that, but this one is so important that we have to. There's a
yeah, because
couple of
there's a
things that
lot of
happened
shit
on
that
Raw.
happened. So yeah,
Yeah, we absolutely have to bring that up this time. But yeah, no, this was, if you can give 0 stars to a match, or minus, negative stars to a match, I would have given this. This did nothing for Lashley. It destroyed Kofi as a wrestler to take serious. It's really that simple.
yep. So obviously, Lashley kept his title.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah.
We don't want to
Like,
forget that.
technical submission. Yeah. Enough of that. Onwards to the, in my opinion, match of the evening.
All right, so according to Tim, the match of the evening, we got the Raw Women's Champion Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair.
Yeah. Again, this was. I had expected either this or the Reigns Edge match to be the match of the evening, and
Wait.
this was it.
Before we start talking about the match,
Yes.
okay, so I guess everyone started chanting like Becky or whatever, right? And then Charlotte Flair like flipped everybody off. And the thing
glorious.
went and then the thing went black. I'm like, why is it going black? It's pay-per-view.
I don't know. But oh, that was, honestly, I don't know if she did that because she's a heel or because she's like, honestly, the crowd fucking deserved that. They seriously. I mean, Becky is not out because she's unfairly being held out. Becky is out because she's a new mom and she is on her maternity leave. The second Becky wants to come back, I will guarantee you she will come back and get a title shot immediately. Charlotte and I realize some people are getting tired of Charlotte. I'm not, but I mean, leaving everything else aside, neither Charlotte or Rhea deserve that crap. Becky is not out because she's unfairly being kept away by Vince McMahon, guys. She's unfairly being kept away by Seth Rollins' penis, I suppose you can say. But on the other hand, I also noticed in my matches that this match was just so good that they actually went away from the Becky crap, and eventually we got a "This is awesome" chance. That is a tribute to those two, because damn, these two have good matches.
Yeah.
Well, in my opinion, at least.
Yeah.
Also, this was the first match. Are you there, by the way?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, good. Also, this was it was very quiet.
I was listening. That's why.
I think this was the first match where they. I mean, this is the first. I guess they had audience. Didn't they have an audience for Backlash or something?
No.
But I mean, this is like the first real pay-per-view back with a full audience again. And
I think they got their first audience when they came back with SmackDown or something.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But I mean, the first pay-per-view now that they are allowed to have.
It was
again.
Money in the Bank.
This was the fourth match on the card, minus the preview match or the pre-show match, and I think this was the first match where they actually worked the crowd. That was a bit weird. Maybe it's just because they have gotten so used to being at the Thunderdome. But this was the first one where, I mean, apart from Charlotte's finger to the... By the way, that might have gone black on Peacock. It did not go black on the network.
Yeah, well, we don't have the network anymore, so...
No, but that's... we do over here.
Like, we saw it at the end, but, like, at the beginning part, it was... Like, it was I'm like, did someone's boob come out or something? What the hell happened?
I admit, when I saw that, my first thought was she didn't just do that. She literally didn't just give the finger to the audience. I don't think I have ever seen anyone do
Well, I
that.
mean, I think she is playing a heel too, so.
Oh, absolutely, and she's playing a great heel, and she's playing the Charlotte heel. I mean, she's playing the character. I just say, in all my years, I mean, I have seen people use, the middle finger for
Stone Cold, for instance.
gesticulation from time. I don't think I have ever seen a wrestler just shut up the audience by just and then go on with things. It was brutal, and I loved it.
Yeah, I like it. I just didn't understand what the hell they blacked that out, but yeah, okay.
yeah, no, that was stupid. That's I guess that's NBC for you. I don't know.
I mean, I can understand if it was. I would understand if this was like on primetime TV and stuff like that. But I'm like, people are paying for this shit. What are you doing?
Yeah. Yeah, well, I guess children can pay for it as well.
Yeah, okay, no.
I don't know. I think it's stupid, but such.
But I mean, anyway, let's go to the match.
Yeah, it was a great match. It was a really great match.
A lot of close calls.
Yeah, great pace, great speed, great work from both of them. It was just both of them had moments of domination. Both of them got to show themselves off. These two has not had a bad match yet. I think this is their fourth or fifth match. I don't think they've had a bad match yet together.
Yes, this is true. It's been incredible.
Yeah. Charlotte won, took the title.
That bitch, don't say.
That bitch in a figure 8.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, is one of our.
This was after she put Rhea's leg between the stairs and the pole and just beating the shit out of it. I thought she was gonna get disqualified, and I was like, oh god, they're gonna go again. And the rest, I was like, is it gonna be Kobe? I'm like, oh no.
I mean, that could have worked. This was really great. Triple H is always on how the most important thing in a wrestling match is the in-ring storytelling. This was really great in-ring storytelling. Targeting the leg and then putting her in a submission hold, specifically targeting the legs, and Rhea eventually taps out. The figure 8, by the way, if you don't know, is one of me and Toya's favorite finishing moves. You should go watch the video where we talk about that. But yeah, Charlotte won, which we talked about last week was the right decision if they want the feud to continue. Because otherwise, Rhea would have beaten her 3 times running. Okay. Theoretically, last time she won by DQ, Charlotte. But Rhea would have retained the title 3 times running, which is about the level I feel a feud can handle before it starts getting ridiculous. So Charlotte won. Charlotte Flair is our new, also I think 10 times women's champion.
That was 11.
Yeah. Sorry?
That was 11.
Was it 11? 11-time women's champion.
Could be wrong. I could be wrong, but I think it was 11.
She's going to not just catch up to her dad. She's going to overtake her, isn't she?
Oh, of course.
Overtake him, isn't she?
Of course she is. I mean, she's still in her prime too, so.
Yeah. On the other hand,
as long as Andrade don't knock her up, no swing.
Come on, Andrade. You need to take her out of commission. The only way you know how. Enough of those jokes. Okay, enough of those jokes. Anyway, yeah, it was a really good match. Charlotte won. Charlotte is the new champion. This is really good because it means the feud can continue because now Rhea will get a rematch, and we know now they can beat each other back and forth. So this was really, really good.
Yes, it was. Great match.
Match of the evening, in my opinion.
Great match. So,
yeah.
Go to the next one. We got the men's Money in the Bank match. We got Drew McIntyre, Ricochet, Nakamura, Morris, Riddle, Owens, Rollins, and Big E.
Yeah. Johnny Drip Drip. I love that name, Morrison, by the way.
Yeah, really good name.
Before we start, let me just say that the intro promo they did just before the match, I love how Kevin Owens is always so... I mean, unless he's playing the really unhinged heel, he's always so weirded out by the rest of the wrestlers. It's like, what are you people doing over there? Before he went into the ring, he was the first one to come out. It's just it made me giggle just because he's so good at seeming like, what are you people doing? It's so weird.
Yeah.
which it really is. Okay, I have one criticism about this match, just one.
Only one?
which-
No, it's fine.
Yeah, I know, it's super weird. And that's the commentators. You don't. When did they start saying that winning the Money in the Bank Championship match will change someone's life? Because holy crap, I think they mentioned it 18 times in this match alone.
I honestly don't really pay attention to the commentators. I'll be honest
No,
with you.
no.
So,
No,
I don't.
that's
I didn't
fine.
even know what
That's
they're
fine,
saying.
and usually I don't either. They're just there to keep the show going. But they said it so much that it started getting distracting.
Well, maybe they said that so much because it was somebody's first time in the Money in the Bank.
Maybe. I mean,
Maybe.
possibly.
And they
Maybe,
knew that was when that
possibly,
person
I
was,
don't know.
yeah, you know.
I mean, there were
maybe.
several people here who had their first Money in the Bank match. By the
Well,
way,
maybe that's why.
Riddle, and
Maybe
Vicky,
that's why they said it so much because there was a lot of people that were there that had like,
maybe it
I
was
don't
just
know.
like, you know, it was like, I don't know. It just got distracting to me at the end. Like, vary it up, guys. Like the great, like this will change your career path, or this will give you a great opportunity, or something.
I mean, they're
don't
not. They're
have
not
to say
wrong.
Change your life every 30 seconds is all. Anyway, that's literally my only criticism about this. This was so fun, it was so cool, and it was just, it worked. Everything about it worked, in my opinion, for
Yep.
what such a match
I mean,
is.
it was just great, you know, smashing ladders
Yeah.
and stuff, and people fucking falling. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it was glorious. That Ricochet Riddle spot off the ladder, then off the rope, then into the crowd.
Oh my god, that was so awesome.
Riddle and Ricochet is both on the stairs. No, sorry. Or it's Ricochet on the stairs and Riddle is pushing the stairs, the ladder over. I don't know, but the point is Ricochet is on the ladder. Riddle is getting him off, and Ricochet just hits the top rope and jumps into a crowd on the outside. I can't even explain it. You have to go watch it, guys, because that was just so bloody cool. It was really amazing. Last week we said that I said that the only thing I would care about in this match was that Drew didn't win. So I guess I have to give thanks to the Indian contingent of WWE today.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, because
They
beat
his ass up and they dragged him away.
Yeah, beating on him and dragging him away. I guess we're going to have a 3MB reunion feud. Maybe they can rehire Heath Slater. I don't know. I guess that's what they're building towards. That's okay. That could be that could be fun in a way. But yeah, so Drew was out, got beaten up badly. He was out, so there was only people left I wouldn't mind seeing. So that also helped. I could just be happy surprised by whoever did it. And well, I guess in the end, it was the other one I really wanted to have happen. I didn't dare think he would, but I was really happy that it did happen.
Yeah, I agree. My favorite part was when Big E did that big ending from way atop the ladder on Rollins.
So cool.
Oh
It
my
was
gosh,
amazing.
I
That
felt
was
that in my
amazing.
stomach. I was like, oh, that had to hurt.
Oh yeah. Big E won. Big E won. Big E is the new Money in the Bank contract holder, and I'm really happy about that.
I mean, I really didn't have any like favorites or like who I wanted.
No.
As long as it wasn't Drew, I didn't care.
Yeah. No, the same here. It was just like we have talked about before that I feel like Big E deserves. I don't know if he actually deserves the title, but he deserves a main event run, in my opinion. So that's why I was really happy about it. It could have been any of them. It really could have been any of them. There was no one left in
Well,
the
it
match
kind of seemed
I
like
didn't want to see win.
it kind of seemed like it was kind of pushed for Riddle a little
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah. Or Seth. I could also have seen Seth. All things, especially with what happened later in the evening. But yeah, no, Big E won, and I am very happy about that. I think everyone is happy about that. My first thought was, oh, so he's going to challenge Bobby Lashley as a way to get revenge for what happened to Kofi. But then Raw happened, and we'll get back to that.
Well, I mean, you have to like also remember he had a year, so.
Oh yeah. Oh no. I mean,
Well, I mean,
the best cash-ins are, in my opinion, the ones where it takes like maybe 5 or 6 months or more, and then they just suddenly run in and cashes it in without warning, when you have almost forgotten that these people actually have the contract. Those are my favorite cash-ins. That like Seth. No, sorry, not Seth. Edge did it on Cena back in the day, where like, what was it, 3 months after he had won it, Cena had just won a match, and then Edge basically came in, hey, it's mine now, bye. It fought to win his
I mean,
title.
for me, it doesn't really matter. Short, long, it doesn't matter.
No, of course it doesn't matter, I'm just saying, I really like, it doesn't matter. Anyway, Big E won, this is good.
Good news.
Great.
Good news. So
Great Money in the Bank ladder match.
It was a lot of action-packed stuff. But
Yeah.
let's get to the main event.
Yeah.
But before we get to the main event, let's talk about Rollins' interview. Interview.
Yes, let's talk about Rollins' interview.
Just talk about it.
You start with it, because I hadn't expected to talk about it, so I didn't.
I mean, it's only it was really short, because he was like, well, how do you feel about the Money in the Bank? Well, I should have won, because I should have been in the main event. I should have been in the main event fighting for the title.
Oh.
Did you not see that?
No. I get what you said. Sorry, like I said, I just wasn't really prepared.
I mean, there's nothing to prepare for. I was just, I mean, well,
I didn't have any notes on it. Yeah, no, I mean, it makes good sense what they did, and it's important going forward. And it fits Rollins' character really, really well.
I mean, because there's a point, because I mean, they're toward the next match. I mean.
Yeah. No. It makes. I don't know what to say, honestly.
She's flabbergasted, guys.
Yeah.
For the first time ever. She
made me lose my tongue there for a second. No. I mean, it's true. It did a really good way of setting up what is going to happen or part of what's going to happen in the main event. It absolutely did.
Yes.
Yeah. No. I don't have anything more to say. It really did, and it fits Seth's current character really well.
True. So, main event, we got the Universal Championship belt, Edge versus Roman Reigns, the head of the table. Why don't y'all acknowledge him?
I do.
Good Lord.
Constantly. I mean, I keep saying he is Universal Champion. I also keep saying they should take it off him at this point.
Acknowledge him, damn it.
So, I mean, that's a kind of acknowledgement. Yeah, no, I mean, that was, the crowd was into that, as you could imagine they would be. Because, Edge. There's no way he's not going to be popular. I don't think they're capable of turning Edge heel at this point. I don't think they're capable of doing it.
I mean, I feel like this was a fairly, match where it's you can show both sides of dominance and Edge's quickness and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, I expected this to be. I expected this, as I said last week, to be match of the evening. It didn't end up like that, in my opinion, but I expected it to be.
I was expecting some kind of fuckery, some kind of cheating.
Yep.
The ref fucking gets injured because they had to bring in the the Usos and the freaking Mysterios in some way, somehow. I don't know.
Yeah, and all of this happened, by the way, in
All
case
this
anyone.
happened. This is
Basically,
not me making up shit.
everything we told WWE last week not to do, they went ahead and did. Just like with the Kofi and Lashley match. I guess they just decided. Honestly, I think at this point WWE is just jealous at how brilliant me and Toya is at wrestling, and they decided to spite us by doing things wrong.
No, I would say that no one was being dominated like Bobby Lashley was doing to Kofi. No.
It was a different way they fucked up this one. No, the match itself was fine. I think the pace was a bit too slow. Maybe it's just because Edge is getting older. Maybe he just doesn't quite have the,
pizzazz.
Yeah, not pizzazz. I guess
the
conditioning.
The speed.
Just go and go and go and go and go. So they need to take some break. I felt like it was a bit too slow. I mean, for a half an hour match, there was a lot of break holds. There was a lot of times where one was, I'm dead on the ground, while the other one walked around for a few seconds. I felt like the match could have won a bit by being sped up, but it was certainly not a bad match in any way. And yes, there was shenanigans.
Of course, there was shenanigans.
There was a lot of shenanigans.
Bunch of shenanigans.
There was basically all the we talked about Seth before, and we have talked about the Mysterios, and of course there is the Usos. And if you expected all of them to get involved, you were 100% right.
Yep.
Everyone got involved.
They all got involved.
Everyone got involved as usual, and
but wait, there's more. You want to tell them?
Should we take the win? Should we take the winner before we take the?
No, because no, I think you're forgetting something. You said there was someone else that got involved before. Yeah. Oh my goodness, I think it's flabbergasted again. Oh my gosh.
I am flabbergasted again. I had forgotten that, honestly.
How can you forget that?
my concentration. I powered through this pay-per-view in like.
I mean, that was kind of like a big deal.
Fair. It was a big deal.
I mean, that was like the game changer, if you ask me. That was switched to the shit. Cause that could have been a different winner.
Very well. That is actually fine. Okay, we can hit with that. Tell the audience what happened.
Basically, what happened was Rollins came in and fucked shit up.
Yeah.
For Edge.
Yeah, basically. Again, Rollins came. Like I said, Rollins wasn't involved. We just didn't go. But anyway, Edge was ready to pin.
No, you didn't go over it. I went over it.
I mentioned before that Rollins was getting involved.
After the fact.
All right. Anyway.
After the fact. After the fact. I mean, it was very important. Okay, guys.
I hate
because
you. I hope you know how much I hate you.
It was highly important, and he just missed like the whole importance of that whole match. Like he's ready to talk about that other person that came out. Who cares?
Yes. Because we already said there was shenanigans from a lot of people, but yes, Edge basically had Roman pinned when Rollins comes out and distracts him, and they have a little bit of a fight. And Edge turns around into a spear, and Roman, takes him out.
Yes, 1, 2, 3 takes out.
1, 2, 3. That should not.
And then there was a little bit of confrontation between Reigns and Rollins.
Yeah.
And then Edge gets up and beats the shit out of Rollins and just beats him back to the backstage. And here comes some of the music. And his name is John Cena.
Yay! China John has returned. Sorry, I will
Yay!
never call him anything but China John going forward.
And so yeah,
Um,
nothing really happened. They just
yeah,
the
they
music
stared at
played.
each
They
other.
stared at each other. He did his little hand thing, and then it went off.
Yeah,
But
yeah, that is what I have feelings on. Everything we said last Thursday about how this was how not to end this match was how it ended. I didn't see Rollins would get involved that way. I guess now he's going to have a.
I mean, I did with the thing
I
he was
don't
saying.
know.
I was figuring he was going to do something.
Yeah, I mean, I guess now he's going
I
to.
mean,
have
I
to
pay
do
more
this,
attention
but
apparently than you do.
what about Cesaro? I mean, it's like, is he just ignored now? I just feel like everything here that possibly could go wrong from every perspective went wrong. I feel like they did just things badly here. And again, so now we're going to have Roman versus Cena at SummerSlam.
We haven't talked about that, but okay, sure.
Listen, it doesn't even matter. Everyone knows that if Cena comes in and does and do a stare down, they're going to have a match at SummerSlam. It doesn't even. I mean, everything else is formality. The problem is, again, as long as Reigns have the title, there's absolutely no way Cena is going to win that match. So that's going to be completely pointless. And I mean, it's not like this will be the first time those two have ever fought. No, they fought several times before, actually. Quite a number of times before, actually, have those two been fighting. So yeah, it's...
Yeah. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know. Yeah.
The scenario we set up last week is still what I think should have happened. I still think Edge should have won the title and then faced AJ for the title at SummerSlam after AJ lost tonight. I still think that would have been the thing that would have given the best. You could still have had Roman versus Cena, and without the title, there was much more doubt about who would actually be allowed to win. So
Agreed. But before we move on, let's go ahead and rank this Money in the Bank.
I have it at 5.5 to 6.
I have it at a 6.
Yeah, let's put it as a 6.
Okay.
Like I said, it had a couple of really good matches, but its downs were very down. Where it was bad, when it was bad, it was really bad. And when it was good, it wasn't that good enough to pull it back up again.
All right.
I won't say I was disappointed in it, but I feel like it could have been so much better.
Yeah, I agree. Well, let's do some bonus stuff.
Yeah.
We'll talk about Raw the very next night.
Yep.
So, let's go with the Bobby Lashley. Let's go with that. Talk about that first.
Let's go to Bobby Lashley. I didn't see Raw. I know what happened, but I didn't see.
I didn't
Raw,
see
so
all of it. I just saw.
Yeah, you might want to talk. You might want to talk people through it, and then we can. We can discuss it.
Basically, Bobby Lashley over here celebrating. He won, obviously.
Yeah.
Then Goldberg's music hits, gets up in his face, and just pretty much says, "I'm next." So, I'm guessing Bobby Lashley versus Goldberg at SummerSlam is coming. It's time for that contract to come into play.
I guess Goldberg needs to have a match for the next 2 or 3 years at SummerSlam. That's what that is.
Yeah.
Oh God Almighty. So the main title matches at SummerSlam is going to be Bobby Lashley versus Goldberg and Roman Reigns versus China John Cena.
Yeah, and China John Cena is basically challenging Roman to put him in his place and everything else, blah 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 blah.
Yeah,
because apparently no one else can do it but John Cena.
But John Cena absolutely is not going to do it because Cena. The only way Cena is going to do that if he's coming back on a permanent basis, and I very much doubt that. All
right.
Also, I cannot take Cena serious as a face after the bull crap with China. I just can't.
Fair enough.
You don't do the hustle, loyalty, respect. I am the great American hero, and then basically lick the behind of a country with with concentration death camps. You just don't, John. I will never be able to take you serious as anything but a tool again. And I have always defended John Cena. Can't do it anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. But that's yeah. Fuck that.
Alright, let's move
That's
on.
just what it is. Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, John Cena versus Reigns and Goldberg versus.
And let's talk about Nikki
Bobby
Cross.
Lashley. So
Oh,
that's
Nikki
going to be
Ash.
amazing.
Nikki Ash. Let's talk about Nikki.
Now that is a lot better. That is where I get happy again.
Let's talk about that. So, Rhea Ripley had a rematch for the Raw Women's Championship belt.
As you
And
do.
what?
As you do when you have just lost it.
Right.
That's it.
And I am not even sure, like, it was a disqualification or what. What happened
Honestly-
after? I don't remember, honestly. I just remember, like, Rhea beating the crap out of Charlotte after a while.
Yeah.
And then you can hear Nikki's music come out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh shit, she gonna cast that shit in. I was like,
She does.
She does.
Cashed it in. She cashed it in.
She's in.
She hit a, I think a
cross-
top rope
a crossbody
crossbody
top.
or
Yeah.
something.
Pins
And
Charlotte.
1, 2, 3.
And she's now the new Women's Raw Championship. Yay!
Nikki Cross's Women's Championship, and I am so happy.
Yay, almost superhero.
Yay! I mean, if nothing else, I know people like to make fun of the almost superhero thing, but honestly, it was apparently Nikki's own idea, and I kind of like it. I think it's pretty fun.
I mean, if she enjoys it, that's what
Yeah.
matters. And if she enjoys it, and I'm pretty sure the audience will follow through.
Yeah, I mean, if there was... Honestly, that is one thing that women's divisions do need. The women's division do need the happy face, if you get what I mean.
Yeah, the goofball.
Yeah, the goofball good guy. Like, again, like Cena used to be back in the day. I mean, yeah, he's still playing the character, but when he first came out, he was definitely the goofball good guy. At least once he gave up on the whole, Doctor of Thugonomics thing. But the women's division really needed that goofy good guy, so I'm really happy that she's taking it on. It used to be Bayley, obviously not Bayley anymore. And again, I feel Nikki has earned that title win.
Yeah, I agree. I
After
totally
the last couple of years, she's just been, she's done everything she needed to get that title win. I really hope she gets a full chance. My best guess is they're going to have a triple threat at SummerSlam, and Rhea and Charlotte are going to get in each other's way, so Nikki is going to retain. That's my bet now, at least. We'll see when we come closer. There's 5 weeks to SummerSlam, mind you, so they have time to build up basically anything they want.
This is true. Well, this is absolutely true. Well, guys, that was Money in the Bank results.
Yep.
Hopefully you enjoyed that. Hopefully you got to watch Money in the Bank. If not, well, you don't
Hopefully.
need to watch it anymore because we told you what happened.
Exactly. I just want to say I feel like I have been more negative than I usually am during this video. And
Very.
I'm really not all that down on things. It's just that the 2 things that I feel went wrong, I feel went predictably wrong in a way that the WWE should have changed. Overall, I like most of the things in the match. The women's title, the actual Money in the Bank matches. I mean, great things, all of them. It's just particularly the Bobby versus,
Are you done whining?
Kofi thing. Yes. I will come over there and find you is what I'm going to do.
Oh, shit.
Challenge you to a mark on a pole match or
Lord,
something.
just
I don't
whining
even
all
know.
the time. Whine.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks guys so much. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Ah!